Alright guys, what is up? Welcome back for a quick Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl guide. In this video we're going to talk about how to farm items using Super Luck and Frisk. So there are a few items in the game, such as leftovers, where certain Pokemon will hold them and you just have to farm them by stealing the item from them. Or you would have to go through a very long process of buying them from the battle tower if they sell that item. So a really good example of an item you might want to farm is going to be leftovers, of course, and that is dropped or held by Munchlax, which you can find either through a honey tree at a rare encounter or on the Grand Underground. But what you're going to do is you're going to get a Pokemon that has the ability Compound Eyes or Super Luck. In this case, I have an Absol with Super Luck. What this ability does is it increases the likelihood that Pokemon that you encounter are going to have an item. So if the Pokemon that could carry it, that naturally has an item, could have an item, it's going to increase that odds. And it's actually pretty dramatic. The wiki here says it goes from a 5% encounter rate to a 20% encounter rate, or a 50% encounter rate to a 60% encounter rate, depending on the item. In this case, like in leftovers case, there is only a 5% chance that Munchlax will have the item. So it increases that chance from 5% to a 20% chance, which is absolutely massive. That is going from a 1 in 20 chance to a 1 in 5 chance. Huge increase. So either Compound Eyes or a Super Luck, depending on what Pokemon you have available to. And then you're going to have this Pokemon at the lead of your party. So this isn't going to apply to the overworld effect. Basically, Absol, even though it's fainted, I will still encounter Pokemon with a higher chance of getting an item because this Pokemon is at the front of my party. Second, you're going to get a Pokemon that knows the ability Frisk. This will tell you if the Pokemon you're encountering actually has the item. So in this case, I have a Bayonet. I don't know why it's named that. This is a trade, so I got this from a trade. It's a Bayonet. It knows the ability Frisk. You can see on the ability section, it says Frisk, and it will, if you encounter a Pokemon, immediately when you start the fight, after the initial text of you encounter this Pokemon, you'll see the ability icon pop up on the left-hand side, and it'll say Bayonet has frisked the ability, the Pokemon's item, and it'll tell you what item it is. So you're going to want that. That lets you know if you're actually going to try to steal the item. Otherwise, you just run away and reset until you get one. And then third, what you're going to do is get a Pokemon that has the move Thief or Covet. Thief is a TM that you can pick up in Eterna City, right next to the Team Galactic hideout. You will need the ability Cut in order to get past the trees in the way, but you can go to the Galactic hideout and get it. Otherwise, and then you can teach it to Pokemon. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, this account does not have Thief. I must have already taught it to a different Pokemon. In which case, you would have to go to the Grand Underground and look for one of the traders that sell the move Thief. I checked already this day, and the Sphere traders did not actually sell the Thief move. So it's on a pool, like a rotating pool, and not every day. Basically, they randomly change up the moves, the TM moves that they will sell. You can eventually get it, but you'd have to grind underground on the traders, and hopefully you get lucky and trade for that TM. Obviously, I did not do that for this video. Fortunately, there is a workaround. You can get the move Covet, which does effectively the same thing. You can see this Jinx has the move Covet, and it will steal the Pokemon's item, all the same. But I will have to switch from, if I find a Pokemon that has the item I need, I have to switch from Bayonet to Jinx instead of just using Thief right away. So just a little extra step, but if you don't have Thief, you can use the Pokemon that knows the move Covet. There are a handful of Pokemon that know this ability, or that can learn this move. All of the EVs, the evolutions, can get this move by default, so you could simply go to the guy in Pastoria City and have them remind that move. Pokemon, there's a few Pokemon. Jinx is one of them that learn by level up. So if you forgot that Pokemon, if you did not learn that move, you can remind it, like Jinx, Jigglypuff, Zigzagoon, Happiny, Munchlax, Skitty, and a couple of others. So that's how you get that move. You cannot teach it through TM. There's no way to teach a Pokemon this move. It's not a TM, so you'll have to either choose to learn that move or remind them via move reminder. So in practice, how does this work is you run around in the grass with your Absol in front. When this is fainted, as soon as you enter a fight, it'll tell you whether or not Pokemon you're encountering has an item. Some have an increased chance. I am currently looking for Budews in this patch of grass, and it said it was a 5% chance, which is a 1 in 20 encounter. I got it. The Jinx stole it. You can see Poison Barb. It took me about 7 encounters, so that is pretty good, pretty close to odds. You're going to make sure that the item, or the Pokemon that has the move Thief or Covet does not have an item, so I'm going to put this in my bag. And then I'm going to continue running around, and I'm going to look for the item again. So I'll see you guys in just one moment. As soon as I encounter a Pokemon that has an item, I will show you what the animation looks like. Alright, so you can see the ability that just popped up, and it said Frisk. I just tested this again. Both the Budews and the Roselias have supposedly a 5% chance of carrying a Poison Barb. However, with Super Luck or Compound Eyes, that 5% chance, allegedly, according to the wiki, increases from a 5 to a 20% chance, which would mean you're going to get it about 1 in 5 encounters. My brief testing here within the last half an hour has basically confirmed that. I was able to get, my first time getting the item was in a 1 in 7, so it took me 7 attempts, and then the second time here was 1 in 3 attempts. So that is pretty much on odds with what you would expect to see. So I trust those numbers just based on that testing. I would need to do a little bit more, but I think that is more or less accurate. So once you have the item, you got the Frisk ability, you're going to go switch to the Pokemon that knows the move Covet or Thief. In this case, it's going to be Jinx. So go ahead and swap. And then we're going to use the move. Now, it doesn't matter, in this case, if we kill the Pokemon or not, or faint the Pokemon or not. We're going to use Covet, and it's probably going to faint it. That's okay. So it says it fainted, and then it should give us the item. It says it stole the Poison Barb. So there we go. And now if we exit out of the fight, and we go to our Pokemon, you can see Jinx now has a Poison Barb. And this is something you can keep forever. It doesn't just last for that fight. Now, I think trainer battles are a little different, but like if an enemy trainer steals your item, you don't lose it forever, only for that fight. But out in the wild encounters, if you steal a wild Pokemon's item, you get to keep it forever. So we'll put that in our bag. And there you go. Now you have a very effective combination for farming specific items. You can use the pickup method as well. I showed you in my other videos by just running around with Pokemon that know pickup and getting into a bunch of fights and defeating Pokemon. You will get random items, sometimes items that are really useful, but other times you'll get junk. So pickup item is less consistent. If you were looking for a very specific item, then I recommend this method with the the Super Luck and the Frisk method, or the Compound Eyes and Frisk method, and then you can steal the item. So anyway, I wish you guys best of luck hunting down the items that you need. Some of them will be in the Grand Underground. Some of them will be fighting Pokemon that are much higher level, and you'll have to grind probably to get some levels, but best of luck to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.